Where are we now?
So yeah, take a long hard look. Welcome to Main Avenue, Chelsea Flower Show 2024.
This is world-class horticulture. We are revered in this country at doing things to this world-class standard, which is great. It's going to be a great garden, this, though. It's going to be a really lovely space, I just know.
It's amazing, amazing place to be. It's inspiring, it's exciting, it's capturing all the nervous, excited energy from all the crews here. There's some great designers here this year. Can't wait to see it all transform.
This is kind of typical Chelsea, really. It's a shame because when we started, the weather was really, really good. You've got 17 gardens starting today and they're starting in weather like this, so it's really, really tough. It's a staggered start, so you get the big gardens start first and the smaller ones, but most of the gardens are starting today. So it's important that we use that head start, get all our materials in, because there's a bank holiday weekend. So I need to make sure I've got all the materials to work right through the weekend. So here you are, this is Main Avenue, and this is like, I don't even know what time it is, but it's not even 8 o'clock in the morning, and there's just a hum and a vibrancy about the place. I mean, this is world-class horticulture. You know, we are revered in this country at doing things to this world-class standard, which is great. Historically, I think you had to cut your wings to come onto Main Avenue, but now it's probably slightly less, but you still got to prove the process to make sure your plans are right. If you're a young designer, they'll put you with somebody who's experienced to make sure that, you know, what you cannot have is any balls dropped on Main Avenue or at the flower show anyway. We've got a programme. So each day we've got a programme of where we want to hit, and there's certain things that need to go in. So the interesting thing about Chelsea is literally it changes on an hourly basis. The guys are on it from 7 in the morning till 7, 8 at night. It's a 12, 15-hour day. I'm proud to be part of this show. This is British Horticulture PLC, and we are world class at doing this stuff. You know, the Americans and Australians, New Zealand, they all have got flower shows, but they all revere this show. It's revered. You know, we are world class at this.
We've been lucky enough to be invited by Mark, who, as you know, is probably a top contender for my best friend at the moment. He has asked us to follow along the Killet Garden. So it's a landform design, it's a landform build. We're going to introduce you to the team, and we're going to follow it all along, essentially. I know it's the foreman, the guy that's running the show. It's his first Chelsea build. So yeah, it's exciting. So we'll see how he's feeling.
No, well, this is Georgie. This is Georgie Dell. Come on, just say hello. So this is Georgie. So Georgie he's worked with us a long time, but this is his first commission. So he's foreman on the Killet Garden. So that's designed by Baz Granger of Landform and built by George and his crew. Each garden have got foremen. So this one's Ian Calder, we've got Bruce next door, and then George is going to be running that. So yeah.
We're going to smash it.
We're going to smash it, we're going to have some fun, and we're going to support each other. And you know, because it's a massive, massive team, and you know, these shows are emotional roller coasters. So 1 minute it's all going great, next minute it goes to tits. People have bad days, and we just got to support each other through it. But what do you need?
I need a digger and a dumper.
Okay, right. Okay, there's your dumper there. Yeah. Take that dumper there, the landform one.
Yeah.
You want a 3-ton machine?
Yeah, just anything to start digging, really.
Right.
Looking for that garden to get in it.
Okay, mate. I'll get one sorted right now.
Cool.
No, but I think I'm basically support. I'm the interface between the.
How you doing?
You all right?
Good to see you. Good to see you.
You all right?
Good. Yeah, I won't interrupt you, but can I nick a couple of the bearers that are just left behind those
sure,
bags?
Of course you can. Yeah, of course you can. Yeah, no, it's. I think I'm the kind of go-to. I'm the interface between when I'm not designing, I'm the interface between the designer and our foreman. So when they're having a panic attack, I'm like, what do you think? Because I wear a judging hat, a contractor hat, and a design hat. We've got a lot of resources going on here, a lot of things going on, and things can go wrong very, very quickly. And what we can't do is slip program. I cannot afford to slip. This will be a busy Friday, and then this weekend will calm down. Some people have got ahead of program and might not be here on Sunday. So this weekend will be really busy but chilled, and next week then it ramps up from like Tuesday, all next week, and then the following week when all the plants come and all the planting crews come, it gets carnage, and it's full on.
The site is especially all over the place and mental. Logistics are, testing for everybody, but another great example of just collaboration and people working together. I mean, there's pretty much every supplier here, every company here. Yeah, they're all here. Have you been briefed on what we're doing?
Not really, no. I got my plans yesterday.
Nice. It's like a vlog style behind the scenes Chelsea build.
Okay.
So obviously doing it with Mark, but he's asked us to do Kill It. He's asked us to do this one. So he reckons that you guys are going to be the most entertaining to follow.
Yeah, we're going to be the funnest.
He wants to follow you because it's your first. I think it's Baz's first design, isn't it?
I believe so,
Yeah, so
I
it's
believe so.
an exciting one to follow. Don't
So
worry.
that's Tom.
How you doing, mate?
How you doing, mate?
Yeah, good. Ollie.
He works with me full time, and we've got Rich over there.
Nice. Hello, little Johnny. I'm that normal-sized Ollie.
He's normal size Ollie.
How you doing?
And then you've got Big John, which is
Nice. So, Georgie, how are you feeling?
I'm good. Yeah, we're good. We started digging out for the tree holes, and we set out. We're ready to go, basically.
Nice.
Heights are set.
You've got some good Chelsea experience so far through Landform, but this is your first build, first one in charge.
Yeah, this is my first build.
Feeling well
I'm
prepared?
confident. Yeah, Mark and Matt and the whole team have been pushing me to drive to do this. So
Yeah, it's just building the right team to give. George has got massive technical skills. He just needs that confidence to kind of push and build a team around him to support him. You know, and that's what it's about. And he's ready for it. You know, he wouldn't be doing it if we didn't have complete trust in him.
Yeah,
So
no, it's
good.
exciting. We're
That's
looking forward to
great,
following
it's
it
great.
along. And so some of the guys that you've got in the team, they're people that you work with normally?
Yeah.
full time. So
Full-time.
we're kind of a London side squad, and we do quite fiddly and technical garden.
The
So
more
this-
fiddly, the better he likes it. So you know,
good.
eat this. This is easy as long as we, as a management, support him. And getting the right people with you as well, George,
It's the
isn't it?
team, yeah,
It's
you've
just
got-
getting the right kind of mentality of people. No, it's good, and the drawings are really good as well. I find the drawings are good.
Yeah, they
The
are good.
sections and all, he's worked it out, and he's actually working with the crew. So he's here, he's present. So, you know, that alone, that in itself, you haven't got some distant designer you can't get hold of.
Yeah.
The designer's here.
We've done a few gardens. Well, I've been on a few gardens up
Yeah.
here, but it's the first time it's mine. It's been 2 years in planning.
Wow.
So it started with a phone call in 2022
Okay.
on the Friday of Chelsea. Do you fancy doing Chelsea? Yes, and that was it. Killick got involved,
Yeah.
so we were introduced to Killick. They wanted to do Chelsea. I think with a lot of the sponsors, they don't really know the show. They don't know what it's about. They kind of don't know what they're getting into. And what's really lovely about Killick is they kind of understood what they wanted to get out of it. So that was a really good start. By that point, we kind of had the garden.
Yeah.
We then had to kind of rework it with Killick. And I mean, and then since then it's been all go.
So it's a 10 metres by 10 metres, this block.
Yeah, 10 by 10. So
What
sanctuary.
are we turning it into?
So yeah, it's a sanctuary category. First and foremost, we wanted the garden to be a garden. It sounds daft, but we actually wanted it to be a garden that is recognisable as a garden that people would want to actually be in, sit in, use. So it's designed for a family. I had this idea early on that I wanted the water to run round high. I don't quite know where it came from, but and then some of the issues of trying to then get water from sort of high to low, I hadn't really considered until I spoke to Mark. Anyway, hopefully we've sorted that out. We are working with All Green, who have been incredibly generous with us and have kind of given us a lot of the materials. Creepers Nursery, who've grown most of the plants for us. Boom and Bonner, who are a Dutch and German nursery, have supplied all the trees for us, and they've been incredibly generous with some enormous trees. But then also people like Vincent Shepherd, who have supplied furniture for us to sort of dress the garden at the end. Lots and lots of people.
Amazing. And these blocks, so the blocks behind us, what are
So
these made of?
they're actually hemp block.
Yeah.
So we kind of wanted to be as sustainable as we can. We have as low a sort of footprint with the whole build as possible. So we're not using any concrete, we're using lime mortar. And then we kind of thought, well, actually, if we're doing that, we shouldn't really use just standard concrete blocks. So we're using the hemp block, which is much more environmentally friendly. Rather than go with a kind of a standard stone paver, we've gone with oak, which is set on sand, so it's very permeable, so allows water to pass through, get into the water table. So we're really trying to keep one eye on the environment and be as sustainable as we can.
Yeah. Yeah, and those methods of construction come with a lot of it sort of very new, slightly tried and tested, but implementing those methods of construction in such a tight timescale in adverse weather conditions, that adds a whole level of complexities.
Well, it does, and you're right. It's quite a tight schedule, but you know,
quite confident.
I think we're okay. We've
Yeah.
kind of got enough time. Fingers crossed.
We'll keep checking in on that.
Yeah.
So how are you feeling? So summarise, day one, first couple of hours, 3 words.
Cold, wet. No. Just
Cold, wet and
excited. I mean,
miserable.
we've just been dying to get here, to be honest.
Yeah.
The last sort of couple of weeks, just sort of counting down the days. So
Did you sleep well last night?
no, I didn't. No, I've actually slept really well, but I mainly because I had to be up so early this morning.
We've got
No,
a
it's
plan, we've got a
exciting.
schedule, and we just got to stick day by day and not drop off.
Yeah, brilliant. And you're here all through the weekend, all through bank holiday?
We'll just keep going, basically.
No rest days
No,
until it's
that's it, we
finished.
just keep going, filming like.
I mean, that's it, yeah. I mean, it's not for everybody because you put your lives on hold,
Yeah.
you know, so...
And what's the total build time for this block?
Well,
How
we've
long
got
have you got?
we got to finish on the 17th, so here we are on the 3rd.
Yeah.
We've got to be wrapped up well and truly finished by the 17th.
Yeah.
And if I stick to that programme, I'm getting that van. So I've been looking at a Ford Custom Transit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That me and Mark have got a little deal on.
We've just bought a few of those.
And he wants all the bells and whistles, he wants it just like that, and I like that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if you have a happy foreman who's completely vested,
Yeah.
that's our job, isn't it? And the good thing is, this killing client, has signed up Baz for next year.
Wow.
So basically, we'll keep the same team together.
Fantastic.
So, you know, if Georgia likes experience and he's really happy, then...
So you heard it there, it's on camera, you can't back out now. That's
no.
a new van promised.
Yeah. I have not got a problem buying new vans and new kit, and Georgia knows that. We always invest, and you know, you've got to invest in your men, in the tools, in the equipment. So that's what we roll. But if somebody wants something particular,
Yeah.
isn't it wonderful to get it to them?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
it's a no-brainer, really. These first few hours on a start.
Yeah. Well, that's
once
what we wanted to
once they've got the diggers and all the kit together, they'll all settle down, and everybody starts to kind of relax.
Yeah.
So tomorrow will be a lot more relaxed there, but today,
but-
we need to get the trees in because the trees are so big that we're actually building over the root balls. So the
Amazing.
trees need to go in, then we put the sub-bases in. We're using the recycled aggregate from the yard that I've crushed.
Yeah.
We'll put it in, put some lime through it,
Yeah.
put the whacker plate over it, it's fine. So we're trying to make it as sustainable as we can. So now instead of putting polythene, we'll put hessians down.
Yeah.
We can't put anything in the ground, any contaminants with the show ground. And I'm really getting into it, to be honest now.
Cool. Well, one thing we'd love to do before you guys get too far and we all get too wet is, I don't know if are all the team here on site, all of your team?
Yeah, they are,
And is
yeah.
Baz around? We'll just get a quick picture of you all standing in the mud.
1, 2, 3 landform. Love it, boys. Thank you. Cheers.
Right, so yeah, we're going to be leaving the landform teams to it now, but back over the next couple of days to see if the progress that's been achieved is what they'd set out to achieve. But I mean, yeah, it's amazing. Look at these trees, all just moving around. It's such an inspiring environment seeing Chelsea at this stage. That's why we're here, and we're wanting to show and share all of this. You know what it actually takes and the people behind the build. But yeah, I mean, it really is the industry at its best. So, catch up tomorrow. The vlog continues to travel. We're not up in Chelsea this morning, we are down in the New Forest. We're at Creeper's Nursery, who are supplying the plants for the Killet Garden. So as you can see, landform are on site. The nursery's nice and calm, nice and still. Everything's very green and lush. So Baz is coming down to meet us. We're going to go through their plant list, what he's picked. We're going to talk about what has worked, what hasn't worked. He should be here any minute.
It's a family-run business. We've been going for 41 years. So yeah, it started off as a florist, developed into a nursery that basically supplied our landscaping side of the business. And then over the last sort of 9 years, it's developed into a wholesale nursery that has supplied the industry. We will essentially get it given a list, we'll bring it in, we'll grow it on, and then we'll produce the garden for them to... Essentially, we are like a supermarket. We provide the ingredients and the artists create the work. So yeah, that's what we do.
We sort of gathered all of our plants from our travels. So we've got things from Holland, from other nurseries, and because sort of creepers have been growing most of the stuff for us, we've got it all into one place now. So first time we'll actually see it all together. But yeah, it's just that sort of final check to then work out what, because everything's going to start coming up on Friday. So we're Monday, first delivery's Friday, and then we start planting on Monday. So here we are. This is some of it.
And when was the first time you saw it all? When did you?
We
How
were
long
up
ago
here
did you visit here?
about 4 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah. So wow. Yeah, things have really moved on.
We started with Baz's plants quite late on, actually. So we've tried to accelerate the process where possible. It's been challenging. The weather, as you can see, is not great. Low light levels, not a lot of heat has made things quite difficult. How's it going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worrying.
I know. Should we start at the beginning?
Yes.
Should we go through it together?
Let's start at the beginning.
Yeah. Do you want to start? I'll tell you what. Should we go into the glass house and then work our way back up?
Yeah.
There's a few bits there, and then we can come up and see where we're at. As you can hear, the weather is atrocious. It's been very dull, but the plan is to obviously produce the best we can for the time of year, and colour is few and far between at the moment, but 15 days to go I think it is until press day, so a lot can happen. A lot of plants were doubling in size in a week, so we just need the light levels. It's been too wet. It's about how we can as a nursery pivot and continue the supply, and how they can adapt to what is available also. So it's a real collaborative effort, it always is. And yeah, so it's good fun, but it's also quite stressful at the same time. No, I just don't know.
So I mean,
We'll make it work.
Obviously, no, there's some great stuff, but there's some good. I mean, within the sort of what we're going to do, there's also some really lovely things. So that's great.
So these are yours.
I know, they're looking amazing.
These are great, and genuinely, probably the best gallium I've ever grown.
Okay.
So these are really good. Very happy. Very happy with the fennels.
Yeah, fennels looking good.
I'd like them to be a bit taller, but again, they've not just had the light levels to draw up.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
But obviously the yellowing's quite normal. We'll just go through everything that comes to you will be completely immaculate.
Great.
Coming on to your chamomile.
Yeah.
Again, they're pretty standard.
No, it's great.
So,
no, they're great, and for what I want to use it for, it's perfect.
Yeah. Okay.
So
great.
It's great.
One casualty was the Aquiledias,
Yeah.
but again, when you were here last time, I was quite concerned about those,
Yeah.
and they just haven't moved.
It's a bit of a worry because it's the colour, it's the flowers actually. There's lots of lovely foliage, which is great. And if I was doing a green garden, I'd be over the moon. Where I want to use that, it's a 10 by 10 set, so literally take one out and drop that in.
Oh,
so you stand on it and get the.
perfect.
So that's really good.
Good. Okay.
These are looking good.
Yeah, they
looking
are.
Really
They're
tidy.
just going to keep going as well, obviously,
which is great.
which is good.
What do you think about these?
I don't think they're strong enough,
Okay.
personally. We can always send them up, Baz, and then you can send them back.
Okay.
There is that option.
It's just those little things that come out in the sun, which obviously we've not had. So it's so that's the worry. But I'm not overly worried. I think we'll get there. But yeah, it's just the weather.
Yeah, what can you do?
And it's cold and wet again. It's really annoying.
Again, London, the climate up at Chelsea is generally a degree or two warmer.
Yeah.
So you'll be surprised that when things go up and you start planting them, how quickly they can kick on, which is always nice.
It's just the colour. It's the full sunset. The shady section and the semi-shade sections are, I think, we're more than covered. It's just out the front in the full sun. These are looking good.
These are great. I'm very happy with these.
This is lovely.
Yeah, these are going
The Katara, these are great. These are going to be really.
I do. Yeah. They'll come to the party, I think.
Such a good smell.
Yeah.
They're great. Okay, so that's good.
Yep, they've got buds in them. And you'll have good colour on those.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Plenty of flower spikes.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So we've got some
We've
blue.
got some colour.
We've got some blue. Yeah. That's the sunny area. We've still got a couple of weeks, and the weather is supposedly warming up this week. But yeah, there are definitely a few things that we need to replace. We need to find. So
Let's try and find a bit of sunshine. But no, it's good, it's productive. It's very important to catch this side of, well, just of any show garden, show build experience. There's months and months and months of work from these nurseries. There's a few, you know, certainly a few key nurseries that give really fantastic support to the RHS shows. So showing a few things from their side and their perspective is is important to try and help the bigger behind the scenes picture. Yes, it looks very glamorous on show day, but actually trying to get a show garden to be in full flower, loads of different plants, trying to make sure that they pop into life at just the right time, as I'm sure you can imagine, is a nightmare. And so, you know, there can be a little bit of human intervention right down to the last day, but we still need the plants to be playing ball. So
Very, very interesting. You're down at
Yeah, we're down at Creepers yesterday, checking on sort of plant progress, which initially was a little bit of a shock. I mean, it was really cold and wet, which didn't help. Initially, it looked as though we were going to be short on our kind of, it sounds daft, but flowers, like the front of the garden, the whole of the front, and then wrap round here. It's full sun, and it's designed to be full sun. It's been so mild over the winter that everything was really far ahead. So it looked as though a lot of the things that we were thinking of weren't going to flower. But actually, because it then went cool, everything just sort of stopped. And so a lot of those sort of early flowering plants that you traditionally see at Chelsea, they're just not there. So there's a little bit of sort of head scratching and walking around the nursery a few times just to try and get an idea with Michael about what he felt would be okay, and then adding a few extra bits in and swapping a few things out. I think we're going to be okay. Well, we're going to be okay. We are going to be okay, and we've got lots of alternatives. So started out a little bit stressful, but ended up in a good place.
We're bruised and battered, but we're getting it done.
what time are you typically getting off site?
About 8.
About 8.
Yesterday we had to run through the gate just before they locked it.
Main focus has obviously been the steels.
Yeah, we need to get them steels up really.
How's that all worked, and what's left to do with them?
So the walls were quite plumb, but we've had to do a little bit of a cut just to try and push it over a little bit.
Okay.
Because putting stick RSJs on
Yeah.
blocks like that's not ideal, but yeah, it's worked.
So they've been bolted together and just tacked for
Yeah,
now,
they're
but
tacked
they
for
need to be properly welded.
Welded and rubbed down basically.
Sure.
Welder's kind of collapsed, so we're just trying to get one on hire or go round.
Oh no.
I'm sure someone on Chelsea's got one that we can borrow. Well, you need a hot works permit for steel and then cutting,
Yeah.
then a welding one. So you've got to be on it.
All that red tape.
Yeah, you've got to be on it.
They don't make it easy for you.
No.
Nice, and everything's managed to sort of wiggle around the trees without causing too much damage?
Yeah, I mean the back steel was a bit tricky because we had to boom it right over and try and twist it round. But it's on.
Nice. Yeah, you can really start to get the feel for the form and the structure and all the different heights in the garden.
It's starting to look like the drawings.
Yeah,
We're
absolutely.
starting to get that. Next is to try and get the paving to come round and get this all base up to height so we're on hard standing and get off the mud.
So the idea around here, I mean, obviously it's a surface to walk on. It's a nice warm surface as well because it's wood, so rather than having sort of cold stone or one of those materials, I wanted to go something a little bit warmer and softer, and so the oak blocks are really nice material for that.
I think, yeah, you've got the walkway here, and then you've got another path going along here, back into this little bit here. Yeah, and at the moment I'm just haunching it up with the lime, with a bit of water. And I think it's a bit of sharp sand in there as well. Yeah, so yeah, it should be pretty good.
Oak's really good as well because it doesn't green up as much as something like like a pine decking or pine blocks. You get the algae on them. Oak has a natural properties which prevent that from happening, so you don't tend to get the same amount of greening on them, which means you don't get the slip.
This is a non-concrete garden, so we've scraped everything back to just to the stone, the type 1, and just having to haunch it up so it doesn't all move. And yeah, trying to make it as steady as possible.
Georgie, you're saying that Baz's like extra stressed today?
Yeah, he does. He looks stressed out.
I have been stressed about this.
Why?
Because because we had to work around the trees. And
You've got the A team here, right?
I know. So I was just saying about how I don't quite understand.
Now I can be Baz for the day. What do you reckon?
I don't
My
quite.
tree!
I don't quite understand how this has worked, but it's worked, and we're absolutely spot on.
We're spot on to the mill.
So we took the top course of the block work off because we felt it was too high, and because of that, we thought we were then going to have to chisel out a bit on the side of the well to get the water chute in. But actually, for some strange reason,
Georgie got it right.
Georgie got it right. So it all actually lines up literally perfectly. So that's a really, really nice happy accident. It's not a happy accident. It was all done. It was all intentional. So
It's a happy accident.
It will. It still will be. It still will be under the ground a little bit, but not as much as we thought. So.
Because you gave yourself that wiggle room, when you were drawing this up 2 years ago.
If only. This is the water chute. So this actually sits on the end of the wall. So the water comes off the top of the beams or the reel, and then slowly cascades down the fall, and then we'll drop off the end into the well and hopefully make a nice sound of falling water. Water was always important because, as Killick had said, sort of water represents like wealth and well-being, and traditionally you have all of the sort of connotations of a well is that you've got water for your family and water for your animals and water to make things grow. And so the well did. I don't want to say it is the centerpiece of the garden, but water is important, and we wanted the water to flow between all of the areas. So that was the kind of binding them all together in effect. What was stressing me out was the weight and manoeuvring the steels around the tree. And there's been a little bit of damage, but nothing major, which is important. This was the biggest hurdle. I think this was Mark's biggest worry as well. Mark's worry was damage to tree, damage to wall, damage to man. The guys are great. They're doing a really, really, really good job. They know what they're doing, and they've done it really well.
I really hate Baz, I really do.
So after all the moving steel around yesterday, the paving that we'd laid down had moved a bit. So we had to take up pretty much half of what they laid the day before to then level it all off and then put it down again. They put the sand in now. They're just about to start laying out the blocks for that. So that's what they've been doing. I've been up in the trees pretty much all day, cleaning them up, sort of taking out any dead or broken bits, and trying to get some feed into them. Because they're in these bags, you've got to make sure that you get the water actually in, otherwise it just runs off. So I think that's what's been happening with it. So we've been watering it, but I don't think much water's actually been getting in there. Anyway, we cleared it all off. We've got the hose going on it now, and hopefully it'll pick up overnight. If not, then we'll have to get the tree experts over to take a look.
What colour van are you going to get?
I'm not too sure. Mark likes to keep it simple with the silvers, but lately he's been buying dark grey ones, so we'll see. I told him I wanted it all kitted though, so with all the bits and bobs, heated seats.
All of that?
Yeah, I want it all.
Speakers?
Yeah, alloys. Alloys. Heated screen as well, for the winter.
No messing around in the morning?
Yeah, you know that. Yeah. We're going to start getting the oak sets in today. They're a nice product, but they're not to size. They're about 5-7 mil out. Yeah, it's a natural product. So
they might have been the same once they cut them, but they shrink.
Yeah. Obviously they swell and shrink from the heat and water. Yeah, they're quite nice. I'm sure it'll look good when it's down. So one side's the same, that side's the same, and then one burnt side. So we're doing a clean white border out on the outside and then a burnt border in the inside. But where they burnt one of the other side, it's shrunk, so it's even smaller than these. So we're just setting it out on the drawing, which we've got the drawing here, and then we've just got to work along and just keep going basically.
One of those squares is one of them?
One of them, yeah.
You've got a lot to do.
We've got a lot to do.
Nice. Got it. Very often.
First delivery's on Friday, and then we start planting in for properly on Monday. we've got these kind of little planting pockets, and the idea there is that we're going to put plants that you can stand on and they will release scent. So we've got mint, so it gives off really nice scent of mint. And we've also got chamomile as well, so we'll plug those little holes there, so you will be able to walk on them. And then, yeah, the rest will work out when it all arrives. I'll tell you my story. So me and my wife came to Chelsea in 2000, but we were both just blown away with it. From that point on, I probably spent the next 10 years just learning all the plants. So I've got a massive library about sort of plants and garden design. So I was at Timberland at the time as head of apparel, but part of the job was that we had to do other activities. So some people learned a language, and some people, would learn rock climbing or whatever it was. And I looked down, and there was a garden design course, and I'd wanted to do it. I just never got around to it. So I said, "Oh, I'll do that." And so I qualified as a professional garden designer in 2017. I loved my time in fashion. It was, I loved my teams. I loved the brands I worked for. At that point, I started to think, well, my time in fashion is limited, so I need to start thinking about how I switch, basically. And that was it. I just decided to do it. But the garden design world so far, touch wood, it's I do love it. I love it. I think there's a lot of scope to be incredibly creative, actually.
Done all the block work using the hemp blocks. Very difficult, but it's some lime work as well. Luke Sharwood. I am a stonemason / bricklayer, and I started working for Mark about 5 or 6 years ago. I love this show, and it's a good bit of fun. It's nice doing something a little bit different. It's just quite bespoke, all this work here, isn't it? So, yeah. That's really like 3 months of work done in like 2 weeks or something like that. So it's stressful, very stressful. It is not for everybody, this sort of stuff. There's a lot to do in a short amount of time, and it is very stressful, and it's not for everybody at all. Well, say you get a real rush out of it. The stress is adds a bit of fun, a bit of adrenaline. Hopefully it'll be finished by tomorrow. Tomorrow, maybe the next day. Fingers crossed, and then go home. Get out of it.
Welcome back to the Killick stand, day 8 of the build, and as you can tell, it's a pretty stark contrast to day 1. We've gone from torrential downpours and freezing temperatures to feeling significantly overdressed in just a t-shirt. The aim of the game is to get all the hard landscaping wrapped up this week, but these main terraces are now all in. All the oak, as you can see, they're actually being sanded and swept in, which is the final stage to lock all of the sets together. The wall cladding, that's very nearly done now. Fabricators are going to be back to make sure the steel is actually watertight, so next week we should see a good water test, the water feature flowing, and Baz's vision really coming to life.
No, I'm not stressed. I don't get stressed. I'm feeling it a little bit today because we're a little bit behind. So it's day 8. I mean, ideally we would have had all the walls cladded, but they're a little bit behind on that, just because it takes so long. I mean, they're doing such a beautiful job, but it just takes time.
Trials and tribulations, but I think we're in a really, really good place. The stonework will be finished, this area will be finished. So I think probably by the end of play tomorrow night, the construction will be just about finished. For 7 days work, I think we're showing okay.
No, I mean it's going great, but I mean we've had a couple of delays. The walls are really slow. No, the walls take a lot longer. I mean, you can see they're very complex, and they do look amazing. But yeah, it's long work to get it looking that good. Paving is all down now, so we've actually got our kind of main paved area, and that's looking really good. I mean, there's a few little bits that we need to sort out. What we think is in the burning process they shrink.
Yeah.
Which makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely.
But I mean, these are supposed to be kiln dried, so anyway, but the black ones are definitely smaller.
Yeah.
So that caused a bit of a problem because originally we wanted to just pack them in tight.
Yeah.
So there would have been no gaps, but the problem with that is we could never get a straight line.
Yeah.
I actually went to Malvern for 2 days judging, Wednesday and Thursday, and that was really, really good. because I saw some of these oak sets laid there, and they were laid in half bond. And on our original plan, Baz had done them stat bonded, and I went away not happy with the quality of the joints. And when I came back, basically not rejected would be the wrong word, but basically said it's not good enough. We need to lift it and redo it. It's not bruising egos, is it? Sometimes you just need to make the call and make the pull.
So did you have to put it all back down again? All this side, and then we were up to the walls on this side. Mark was absolutely right. He called it and just said, look, put kiln dried in between so we have a 3mm gap. That gives enough play for it to look more regular.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we also we did a half bond as well, which I think, although it's more precise, it actually looks more rustic. It was never supposed to be super clean,
yeah.
which is why we've done it this way. But because it's all about the surfaces bleeding into each other. So the block bleeds into the gravel, which bleeds into the bed.
Pretty incredible to think that a couple of months ago these trees were actually sitting in Germany. They've then gone through the quarantine process with landform and that landform, and they're now here. This one particularly I was a little bit worried about because of how much stress it was visibly under due to the transport and the heat. So you can see Baz has had a good go over it all and do some nice selective pruning and take off any of the damaged branches, and a few tall shooters coming up out the top have been taken off as well, so he's got it back into a really nice form and structure. Trees that are used in show gardens often are conditions. You know, the root balls are used to being confined to being confined to their sacs in a specific growing conditions, which means you can move them around. Doesn't mean they like it though.
They've had a feed. They're starting to pick up. We've actually made like little sort of troughs in the top of them now to hold water and just let it absorb it.
Really make sure it gets down to those root balls.
Made a really big difference.
Yeah.
You can see we've got the hose on it now, and it'll just pull like that. We'll do it for a couple of hours and then really give it a good soak in.
Yeah.
We've got the main structure of the steel in, but we've got some leaks on the wells, so that's been dried out, and then we'll re-silicate. But the good thing is we've got time. We've got time to tweak and get this stuff right. You know, devil's in the detail. Devil is in the detail. It's got to be absolutely spot on right, as good as we can get it.
Mark this morning was like, well, we've got time, and we have got time, but it's just, I think once we've got this back...
Starting to feel the pressure a little bit more?
I am, no, definitely, but that's why if we get to where I want to be at the end of the day, I actually will feel a lot happier. It's been a great week. The lads have been brilliant, but it's just one of those things, you have a day where you get loads done, and then the next day you just seem to get nothing done. And there's been a couple of those, but the hedge is starting to go in now, and planters are going in, so I think there's a point we can get to by the end of the day, which means we'll have caught up, and if we get there, I'll be a lot happier.
It's going to be a great garden, this though. It's going to be a really lovely space, I just know. We're in a good place, the construction's just about finished, planting's about to start. We've really got to get this garden ready for being planted on by Sunday, and I think we will achieve that.
There's been progress, there's been step backs.
Yeah, a little bit more optimistic than Baz.
Yeah, so we laid the paving and we didn't like it, so...
It's come up and gone back down.
We took it up and put it back down again.
What's the next step? What's the plan? How are you going to get the hard landscaping wrapped up?
So we want to get the trees in. We need to get the hedges in, so then we can start getting it all prepped and haunched and dug out.
Okay.
Because we've got planting coming. The planting team starts Sunday.
Yeah.
So pressure's pretty on now.
Yeah. And do you think having those hard deadlines, is that helping?
Yeah,
knowing that it has to be done?
You have to push.
Yeah.
You have to push.
Yeah. What are you hoping
all
for?
hard landscaping done by Sunday.
By Sunday.
Yeah, hard landscaping done by Sunday, hopefully. And then ready for the planting team, digging out, prepping all the beds, just so they can come and it's just all ready for them, Just make their life not as hell as ours. So we have it hard and hopefully they can have it easy.
As you know, the planting people turn up and that's just that
finishing touches.
Instant transformation.
Exactly.
They unfortunately get most of the credit.
The fairies come.
We're all used to it. Yeah, exactly.
And they're like the little tooth fairies. They just come and throw the pounds on, and it just makes it look, the last features of the garden, really.
It's Chelsea Flower Show. It's all about the plants, and the plants are the stars. So you can never do a garden, and it's all about the construction. The plants are going to start coming in tomorrow, Saturday. And then the designers start pulling them out and teasing. There's no really planting plan. There's a planting palette, there's not a plan. So you basically, the designers pull the plants together, offer them up and play around, and you need thinking time to do that. So to be able to do that on Saturday and Sunday and then really start planting Sunday into Monday, our deadline is a week today. A week today, this garden has got to be swept up, polished and finished. So really the idea is to get this garden looking as good as it possibly can a week today. We've got 7 days to completely finish it.
That's the plan. I just hope we don't have any major hiccups between now and then.
Where it's written. Where the numbers are.
You all right?
Should have heard it, mate.
Jamie's done his arm in. Yeah, he thinks he pulled it out of the socket. Just now, putting the hedges in. Slow things up a little bit. Yeah, he just pulled. He said he's pulled the out of his socket on his elbow. He can't feel his hand.
Who's that, sorry?
Georgie. I keep wanting to call Georgie Jamie today. I don't know why. Anyway.
It's real big when
He's just gone round to the first aid. I don't know. He's gone off with John and Johnny. So yeah, not ideal.
And we hope he's all right, but that causes a load of stress for you guys and work.
No, I don't hope he's all right. He's daft and pull it down. I'm joking. Worst case scenario is doing the big one in 2 bits, and then we'll just have to. No, we need him. So it could be a real big setback actually. We'll see how it gets on. See what they say.